Good evening. On most historic day to start out the week here in Boise, President Joe Biden arrived at Gowan Field this morning to get a glimpse of the nation's firefighting headquarters.
The National Interagency Fire Center, based in Boise, controls which crews go where during fire season. Biden also stressing the need to fund the fight against climate change.
That is good news for Boise Mayor McLean, who, as you might know, has made climate change one of her key agenda items. She was the first local dignitary to greet the president upon his arrival. Our Katya Stepovic joins us now. And Katya, you caught up with the mayor this afternoon. How did she describe that very brief encounter?
Well, I absolutely did. And McLean says her team put together an extensive brief for the president before his arrival. Well, that includes what the capital city is doing to combat climate change. And once he stepped foot on the tarmac, he hit the ground running.
And so then I start yelling up like, "Hello, welcome to Boise." And then I was like, oh shoot, I probably should have said like, "Hello, Mr. President," you know.
While the day brought excitement for Boise Mayor McLean, President Biden's trip to Boise surrounded serious threats facing the West.
He came here because of the work that we're doing on climate and the impact that climate is having on fires in the West. We're seeing these fires that come about from climate change.
The president's trip to Idaho was an urgent one. He learned about the nation's response to fires, which is all coordinated at the National Interagency Fire Center in Boise. The president also thanking crews on the fire line.
There's an expression I say to all the firefighters here, that God made man, then he made a few firefighters. You all are the most incredible people. No, it's not hyperbole.
Mayor McLean, Governor Brad Little, and President Biden expressed that wildfire mitigation is a high priority in the West.
It is really a unique time for us to have a leader in the White House and to have an administration that recognizes the nexus that climate and smart, forward-thinking climate investments have with an economy of the future, good-paying jobs, and long-term health and resilience.
There's been a lot of great work done by your agencies to whether it's share stewardship or good neighbor, but we know about a third of the forests are at risk of big catastrophic fires.
The governor also said that while he has plenty that he disagrees with the president on right now, one thing he agrees with President Biden on is the need to build a more fire-resilient ecosystem by protecting lives, creating jobs, and improving the landscape. Biden agreed, saying it's important to give firefighters support from the top down.
The only thing that really matters is if there's enough firefighters. Firefighters protecting firefighters. That's the big deal. That's what it all comes down to. And I just want you to know that you have the full support of my government, my administration.
Biden went on to say that his $3.5 trillion infrastructure plan focuses on clean and efficient energy and creating jobs in that sector, and that for every dollar invested in the plan, $6 are saved down the road. And that is welcome news to Mayor McLean.
What I am so excited about moving forward is that we have this once-in-a-generation opportunity with the American Rescue Plan dollars that our city has received, with the efforts that the Senate and their House they're doing right now around Build Back Better. And we will be able to make investments in climate resilience.
Mayor McLean also sent President Biden home with a painting of the Boise foothills. And yes, she got the okay to do so from the White House beforehand. She says as a leader in the America the Beautiful initiative, she wants to live up to her pledge to serve more open spaces. And that is exactly what that painting symbolizes. She says another thing she will never forget, wait for it, how tall the president was in person.
Yeah, and she
had her heels on too.
She did,
yes.
and that gets her to about 5'3".
Yeah.
But I loved how candid and transparent she was with you, Katya, saying, I said, "Oh, Mr. President, welcome," and I should have said, "Oh, Mr. President, on behalf of the capital city, welcome." That was just really
and she
good.
had a lot more to say, that he was just altogether very, very down to earth.
Awesome.
All right, good to hear. Thanks for the insight there from the mayor.